An enormous economic collapse is standing right behind you, and soon it'll be knocking at your door. Elon Musk predicts a U.S. economic downturn in mid-2023 that may last up to 18 months. Elon Musk predicts the incoming economic storm will be exactly like the 2007 through 2009 subprime mortgage crisis. He has also advised investors to be cautious, save money, and avoid borrowing money. He has called the Fed's rate hikes and money printing excessive and dangerous to the economy. He expects the economy to revive by the last quarter of 2024. With Elon Musk painting a grim picture of the economy, many people are worried. But don't you worry, we're going to make sure that you can make your way through it smoothly. So, listen to this video very carefully.
Well, I think it's more like it does seem like we're headed into a recession here in 2023. The magnitude of that recession is debatable, but I think it's at least a light to moderate recession. Potentially, it's on the order of 2009. So I think it's wise to kind of like prepare for the worst, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
So, we will analyze what the situation was at that time to get an idea of what lies ahead. At that time, millions of people received mortgage loans at low interest rates, thanks to reductions in prime rates in 2001. As loans were giving such a relief to the people, more people wanted to buy a house, which resulted in higher home prices. This scheme reached a turning point in 2005 when interest rates rose at the same time, affecting the ability to purchase a new home. The purchase prices rose enormously. Even the customers who could afford to purchase saw this as a way of pushing themselves towards more debt. This reduced orders from customers as they considered this subprime mortgage offer a trap that they couldn't escape. First, loan payments were tough for them as they used adjustable mortgage rates, or ARMs. Secondly, most of them were unable to sell their homes to make a profit because demand for houses was decreasing, so they had to face a loss as we moved towards a severe economic crisis. Further adding to this misery, banks waived loans to subprime customers, which facilitated a decline in cost as well as demand. As a result, the banks were unsafe because they had to bear the burden of loans, which were their assets. The banks would find it difficult to trace the loans, and these credit card facilities would be at a standstill, which limited businesses and customers who were creditworthy from getting loans. There were many things related to this. Companies depend on investments and sales. As a result, there were many layoffs, affecting the capacity of consumers to purchase the products as they were unemployed.
So Tesla is reducing the salaried workforce by roughly 10% over the next probably 3 months or so. We expect to grow our hourly workforce, and so it requires a reduction in salaried workforce. We're about 2/3 hourly and 1/3 salary. So I guess technically a 10% reduction in the salaried workforce is only roughly a 3.5% reduction in total headcount.
Chrysler and General Motors, two famous car companies, were declared bankrupt. This led to an agreement of partial government possession, such as bailout programs. During this time period, consumer buying power declined. The consumers were more reluctant to spend on commodities. This led to a recession in 2007. The recession was severe, and the poverty rate increased from 12% to 15% in 2010. To solve this problem, the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act was enacted as legislation by the Fed. The move served to gather more and more funds, enable job preservation and job creation, broaden unemployment insurance, and then accompanied by safety net schedules such as food stamps. But this law didn't improve the situation because the poverty rate rose to 22%. The United States lost billions of dollars with a 57% decline in stock prices, which is an estimated loss of $16 trillion, a mind-blowing amount. There is a proverb that says, "The poor will become poorer, and the rich will become richer." Recessions don't affect the rich, but the average and poor class. So if you belong to this class, you should start saving and investing. Surely you don't want to end up in misery. This economic decline didn't affect just the United States, but also Latvia. Latvia faced a 25% decrease in GDP. Investment companies in America faced an economic downturn. We will show you a clear picture of how Elon Musk sees the incoming inflation. We should be prepared for tough times ahead. Now, it depends on you whether you become a victim of the situation or increase your ways of earning. You can start a side hustle on multiple freelancing platforms or sell a product. To be financially stable, you must save at least 15% of your income. All of this will help you save a lot of money and make it through smoothly if a recession occurs.
This foundation, saving $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. This is just a small buffer between you and life.
Any money you have that's not retirement, anything you can sell that is not retirement, you're going to liquidate it. If it's not retirement, you got some stock over here that grandpa left you. You got a gold bar under your bed. I don't know what it is, but you got any money that's above $1,000. Maybe you got $10,000 in a savings account.
Secondly, Elon Musk said that there's a 60% chance that we will face a recession. He says the only thing that can save us from recession is hope. I hope he's not talking about that hope. What he means is that he sees the Federal Reserve as a ray of hope that can save the U.S. from potential economic collapse. Only the Fed can help the U.S. by cutting rates. He does not underestimate the possible worst, which makes up a significant portion of his prediction. In the last 5 meetings, interest rates have been increased to 4.75 to 5% by the Fed. The situation can change even more after the 6th meeting, and there is a likelihood that interest rates will only increase. So, according to our prediction, there is only a 30% chance that the federal government will cut interest rates, and there is a 70% chance that there will be a recession, including increased unemployment due to layoffs. To save yourself from this situation, you should work on your skills and spend time on your side hustle so that if you lose your job, you will still have another source of income. You can earn money from the internet on platforms such as Upwork, and companies like LinkedIn will hire you if you have skills such as writing or coding. Elon Musk's third piece of advice is about caution toward margin debt.
And he said from peak to trough, I think in less than 12 months, Broadcom went down 97%. So, like, even if you had a small margin loan there, you got crushed. It subsequently recovered, and I think to much higher levels. But if there's like mass panic in the stock market, then you got to really be careful about margin debt.
He claims that it has the potential to trigger panic. We can draw various conclusions from this philosophy. One example is when your balance as an investor falls below the minimal cost required by a broker, since you're more focused on investing and don't want to lose money. As a result, you panic and you place a margin call. This margin call requires you to inject more funds to meet the minimum value required by the broker on an individual level, and you risk a loss because the market trend sometimes shifts at the economic recession level. And a recession is most likely when there are more margin debts, as seen in cases such as the Great Recession in 2008, where margin debts increased by more than 60%. In general, we cannot rule out margin debt as an indicator of an economic downturn, which is why Elon Musk advises you to avoid margin debt because it is harmful to both investors and the economy. Similarly, Elon Musk sheds light on this situation. He says that the recession will not last forever. For the past few years, the recession has been a cyclical event. This means that the situation will not prevail for a long period of time, and the Fed is intentionally doing this just to do what we can say to reset the economy in order to stabilize it.
Well, I think a recession is inevitable at some point. As to whether there is a recession in the near term, I think that is more likely than not. It certainly isn't. It's not a certainty, but it appears more likely than not.
He thinks that the economy will stabilize in 12 to 18 months. In his tweet, he said that companies will experience negative cash flow for that duration before getting back on track. What can we learn from this? Elon Musk suggests that now is the best time to start investing or starting your own business by the middle of 2024 or 2025. Now, that might seem like a long period, but trust me, it's worth it. All you gotta do is save the money you get from investing. His last advice is controversial, and it was given by Elon Musk on Twitter, where he's known for not censoring posts. Elon Musk took advantage of Twitter's lack of censorship and predicted the recession. Describing some cartels as fools, he said it was time for them to experience a bit of bankruptcy, as they've been enjoying benefits for so long. He also says that the stay-at-home agenda has promoted laziness, and describes the recession as a rude awakening that will enable people to come to their senses and realize that nothing in this life comes easily. But technically, he's right. People realized how bad their economic situation is when they stayed in their houses during COVID. Elon Musk further supported his prediction by giving an example of recent layoffs in his company. He said that was a very difficult decision for him to make. Imagine that you, as an employer, let go of your favorite employee due to the economic decline. Well, in the coming quarter, Tesla will be observing new layoffs. Time for the important announcement. Now you can join our community of 5,000 plus members and active stock market investors and receive the latest timely stock market and economy related updates, like what stocks to buy and what stocks to ignore or sell to save your portfolios. Economy and stock market related commentary and alerts are shared regularly on a weekly basis. You can also chat with me during market hours and ask me any questions. Join our community on Discord through Patreon. Upon becoming a member, you'll be able to enjoy some great perks. For example, you'll be able to receive proper buying and selling alerts for a wide range of potential stocks. We'll also share tips and alerts for option trading. You'll receive a weekly guide for stocks performance and updates with technical analysis. You'll be able to chat with over 5,000 like-minded members all the time. And you'll also be able to chat with me during market hours. I'd be delighted if you could join us. The link to join is given in the description below. Thanks, and see you on the other side.